destroying each other. No, now it's gonna get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Outside, we're in the woods. We can be honest. Just regular, who gives a fuck? Can't remember her name, looking women, right? Well, looking at these goddesses, and they had the fucking beat me up. How am I supposed to compete with that? You can't! How fucking arrogant are you? Always talking about body issues. That's the dumbest one ever. When they talk about Hollywood, going like, Hollywood, they create these impossible body images, blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole thing, the plus-size actress, right? The fatties, you know? That's like a big thing. They're sick of being treated like fat people. I don't know what it is they're doing. They're going on the cover of magazines now, just like showing how fat they are, wearing a little bit amount of clothes. And everybody's like hyping them up, like, oh my God, that's so brave. I don't know why, though. Why? They're not a race. They're not a religion. It's totally curable. Eat an apple and go for a walk, you know? Why are you yelling at everybody else? The fuck are you giving me shit for? All right? You put the cookies in there. I didn't. How is this my problem? Jesus Christ, you ate your way in, you can walk your way out. Lights out, curtains drawn until at least 2 in the afternoon before I can even look at you, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah, you're supposed to have no shame? That's the new world? You're just gonna walk around sucking dick, you know, eating cookies, and just show up, and nobody's supposed to say anything? No one's supposed to have an opinion? Like, wow, that's gonna go off the rails pretty soon. I know, it's probably mean to do this stuff, but like, you can only have so much sense. And then disappeared into the crowd like Hannibal Lecter at the end of Silence of the Lambs. It's one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen in my life. And then I come back to my country and it's like, oh, the studio said I lose 15 pounds to star in a movie. Well, then start running, you fat fuck. That's your big complaint in life? You know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is about these fatties? You know what it really is? It's a fucking miserable experience. Just walking around, your whole body's eating yourself. You know, you want some cake? No, just take a salad. Balsamic vinaigrette on the side, no croutons. Oh my God, when is the photo shoot? I want to kill myself. It's horrible. You ever try to get fat? No. You don't have to. It's effortless. You can
He was exhausted from it. If you had to pick.
Oh my God, are you going to go Real Housewives on me here?
Well, I'm saying.
You weren't in the locker room. You don't know what happened. Who did you talk to?
I'm American.
Some other guy who never played professional sports by the water cooler? You don't know what happened.
I heard you have a terrible theory, and I want you to say this. So your theory on Boston is, let's just wait till LeBron's old. You don't want to be aggressive and get players.
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
You got misinformation.
What did you say?
Well, why would you say out? Are you good at math? Do you like apples?
Where are you from in Boston?
I lived in a safe suburbs.
Saugus?
Wait, do you really?
I would like to know.
Look how beautiful you are. Look how beautiful. You know how many psychos are out there? I'm not going to tell where I live.
No, I feel like
What's your social security number?
I don't know what it is about Boston, guys, but Bill Burr is the voice of Boston and America. He's common sense. He's smart. He's a great comedian. He was just in The King of Staten Island. It's now available.
I grew up in the suburbs. I'm not as tough as the guys, at least the Boston I remember. You hate Boston. I get it. You hate Boston, and you're. I don't know what your deal is. I don't know what happened to you when you went to Boston. I don't know what happened. Okay, but I am not their representative. I left more than a quarter of a century ago. I'm sorry you went on the Freedom Trail and you didn't get to meet Paul Revere or whatever they promised you.
You know what's hilarious about it is how women are acting like that is a uniquely female experience. You know what's funny? I actually, to the letter of the fucking law, within the last 2.5 years, got sexually assaulted in this business by a woman. Yeah. And this is my story. I feel like I can live my truth and be brave tonight. Right? So that's what we're doing, right? And the host gets him going, and then he brings up the first act. Okay, she goes on stage. She's not really a comedian, more of a personality. She does her bullshit or whatever, and I'm standing there looking at my jokes, figuring out what I'm doing. She wraps it up. He goes on stage. She goes to get off. I'm thinking, okay, I'm next. I'm looking at my stuff, and she just walks right by me and just fucking, pooh, just flicked me right in the head of my dick and kept walking. Like it was nothing. Just fucking pow, and just kept... I couldn't fucking believe it. Woman, and it's just spitball. Well, fucking boot her in the ass then. Boot her in the ass. Can't hit her, dude. Can't hit her. It's a woman. Well, fucking tell somebody. Tell somebody. And all I'm thinking is like, dude, I'm a guy. You can't fucking tell anybody. Nobody gives a shit what happens to a guy. I'm gonna walk up to another man and be like, excuse me, sir, but she just flicked me in my pee-pee and I didn't like that one bit. No, sir, I didn't like that at all. No, I didn't. All the guy's gonna be like, dude, if she did that to me, I would've taken my balls out too. Be like, fucking flick both of these fucking She did it to you, you do it back to her. It started making sense. Like, yeah, fuck that. You flick my dick, I'm gonna flick your clit. That's right. I'll fucking hit the man in the boat. I'm drop down, uppercut to the bush. Fuck this shit. Think I'm the kind of person who just can flick my dick and walk away like it ain't shit, right? And it was making sense till right when she got there. Finally, I just started thinking of all the sporting events I had watched. And I realized that the referee only sees the retaliation. He never sees the first aggression. And then you have to go to the yellow card, whatever the fuck you people do over here, right? You go to the penalty box. So you know what I did? I drove home to my house. There was nobody home. I went upstairs. I closed the door. And I just sat down and I meditated on it. And I just forgave her. I did. I just pictured her as a little 5-year-old girl crying because her alcoholic dad, you know, wouldn't hug her or something. And she's just standing there crying like, but Daddy, I love you. He's like, get away from me. I never wanted children. And then he walked through a screen door and he like face planted into this above.
They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, I wasn't trying to spell dinosaur. I'm serious. Women have like too much energy for me. That's what I've noticed, you know? Like you can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's go fill it up with some stuff. Really like religious. She goes to church every week and I never go and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God and heaven and hell and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And I talk to him and be, hey, how's it been going? Oh, you know. Been rough last couple of nights downstairs on the couch. You know how that is, right? No, I don't. I don't understand. Yeah, how did you get yourself into that situation? I shouldn't make fun of Ebola. I don't know anything about it. Other than if you get it, you have this unbelievable urge to go to the airport. Right? Yeah, I don't know what it is. Nobody gets Ebola, just has the decency to just walk out in the woods by themselves and just bleed out like a gentleman, right? I think about the population all the time. I think I got the plan. I would just start randomly sinking cruise ships. Think about the kinds of people that take a cruise. These aren't forward thinkers.
Out the pilot light, though. All right? I'm keeping some fight in me. I'm not going to be that henpeck guy. Just standing there like, I guess we're making holiday cookies. That dude with the bowed shoulders. she makes them, and then I'm supposed to sprinkle the sugar on them. I don't even think they taste that good, but you know. Out of your mind? I go, I'm not sleeping downstairs. She's like, who are you going to sleep then? I'm like, where I always sleep. I will fucking sleep on your side of the bed if I want to. What are you going to do? I'm bigger than you. I'll hang on to the covers. Try to get me out. No tickling. Good. Yeah. I was like, you don't tell me where to sleep. I sleep where I want to sleep. She's like, well, you don't tell me where to sleep. I'm like, I'm not the one telling people where to sleep. It was one of those classic relationship fights. It's like 2 a.m, you're both half naked. Like, what are you afraid of? What is she gonna do if you say no? What is she gonna fucking choke slam you onto the kitchen table? Look, I understand if you're dating some woman and she does that UFC, MMA shit, then you gotta sleep what she says to sleep. You got to. She's gonna come at you, well, let's get you in an armbar. All right, tapping out. Or even worse, she chokes you out. You wake up on the couch like 11 minutes later, like... Just grab your jacket off the back of the couch. Can't handle that. You know, walk by the TV without looking at you. Only make herself something yummy out in the kitchen. Who gives a fuck? Dude, my wife does that. I just sit there. I just start commentating. Oh, here she comes again, walking by the TV. She really must be mad. She's never body slammed me once, ever. I'm not saying to be a dick, all right? Just saying, you got to keep them honest. You know, we fight a lot over television, you know, so, I don't know. I've kind of come her way, she's come my way. She watches a little bit of sports. You know, I occasionally will watch like a romantic comedy, which, you know, I don't care. You know, the nerd's going to fuck the cheerleader. I'll watch it, right? I don't mind them. It's an uplifting story. I just don't like the love scenes in romantic comedies. They creep me out. They're just so fucking nice. It's like missionary style. There's candles. That stupid saxophone music. They creep me out. They're just so fucking nice. It's like missionary style. There's candles. That stupid saxophone music. It always goes down. Like the saxophone implies the penetration, right? Because they can't show it. They got to make her this one-dimensional, this little angel. They ignore the other 90% of her sexuality. No hair pulling, no ass slapping, none of that shit. None of that taboo stuff of a woman's sexuality. She just kept taking my hand and she kept putting it like right here. And then I didn't know what she was doing. I thought she was like testing my core strength or some shit. I was just like... Then finally, I was just like, what are you doing? She's just like, I don't know, just kind of like, you know, like squeeze a little bit. Yeah, kind of like squeeze it. Why don't you want to do it? It'll be fun. Why don't I want to do it? I don't think I want a passed out naked woman with my fingerprints all around her neck. Having the cops show up. Yeah, she's in here, officer. Damn this thing, it was hers. Oh, I just noticed this thing came off. We can't have this. There's got to be continuity between the fucking shows here. Oh, Jesus Christ. This thing never comes off. It's right when you tape a fucking special, then everything just falls apart. Royal Albert Hall, huh? Where did you buy this mic stand, huh? Where the fuck did you get this? You know the mic stand guy's all fucking pissed off. Right, it's a jolly good fucking mic stand. I know you fucking yank. Huh? Where the fuck did you get this? You know the mic stand guy's all fucking pissed off. Right, it's a jolly good fucking mic stand. I know you fucking yank. You fucking yank it, you little son, everything fucking falls off on her. How dare you? The Queen comes down here and sits in a box and watches this show. You know what I heard about you guys? Actually, by the way, I've been over here for a week and watches this show. You know what I heard about you guys? Actually, by the way, I've been over here for a week, and as an American, I got to say something. You guys are pretty fat, too.
Been on the same tour for this hour for almost over a year now.
Dude, bands tour for like 4 years and then fucking go right back in the studio, make another one, and keep going. You got to toughen up, man.
Yeah, you're right, huh?
You know?
What do I do, you think?
Camouflage hat, looking like a fucking backwoods guy. All
He goes, it's Pride Month. And I'm like, what's that? You know, I'm 52. I never heard of it, right? They didn't have that when I was a kid. He goes, oh, it's Gay Pride Month. And I was just like, oh! Dude,
You know when you're just like stuck in the matrix and you just can't, everything's just pressed up, you can't see anything, and then somebody gives you that little nugget of information that just pulls it back? It's like, why is it so crowded? It's Gay Pride Month. Tank tops.
Shut the fuck up now with the cheating.
Oh, now he's trying to go aggressive? You gonna try to guerrilla your way through this? No, keep your chips. You're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit. We don't care about money here. It's all about...
He just tried to buy it out with like 11 bucks.
Buy out.
Hey, now we'll just shut you up like he just pulled up in a Rolls Royce.
Fucking asshole.
Okay, they're always talking about how to make a woman happy, but I don't think they do it enough to help you guys out how to make a man happy, right? The great thing about men is we're simple. Men is we're simple. So here's the thing right here. You want to make a guy happy? How about 4 times a year? Once a season. You go out to the kitchen without him saying shit. You go out to the kitchen, you make a sandwich, you get him a beer, you walk out, you give it to him, you don't say a word, and you just fucking leave. You do that, you'll keep him happy. That's all it takes. Now, I know right out of the gate this is coming off sexist, right? It's because I'm saying go out in the kitchen, make your man a sandwich. I'm not saying women walk out, just hand it to him, don't say shit, and then fucking leave. And when I say leave, I mean leave. I don't mean walk into another room for like 10 minutes and then stick your head back and just be like, did you like it? Was it good? Great. Don't yell at me. I just made you a sandwich.
They took away our strength and tipped it in their favor. Hey, good on them. But then don't come back at us and then you stole our offense and won a Super Bowl. Fantastic. I get it. This is big boy stuff. But don't come back and start crying.
Bill Burr here on the...
I get it. This is big boy stuff. But don't come back and start crying.
Bill Burr here on the Rich Eisen Show. I love
That's like those Trump guys. They're always going like, you snowflakes, F your feelings and all of that. And then you make fun of Trump. They're like, oh, my God, it's so disrespectful. It's like you're saying F Joe Biden. It's like you can't have it both ways. So that's my thing as a Pats fan, okay?
Yeah.
It's just like if you're doing it too, quit your crying. Quit your crying. I mean, you know.
How's your wife's hands doing?
Well, you stand with her. Okay? The guy walked in the arena. Everybody cheered. She gave him the finger. Nobody got arrested. That's why this country's great. Everybody expressed themselves. Can we all be adults? I mean, I don't know about you, but I came there to go to the fights. I didn't know I was going to the Republican National Convention. My favorite thing was when Trump was going, thank you. Thank you. You know what it reminded me of? When OJ got acquitted. Remember that? When he's going, thank you. Like, I can't believe I'm getting a
Water cooler? You don't know what happened.
That's all my ink. I have this mic on, so.
Yeah, that's all right.
Be a gentleman and help me out with my question.
Hey, Kodak, can you believe that marriage didn't work out? Yeah, I can't believe your relationships don't work out.
Here,
I'm glad.
You can ask me about anything you want.
Yeah. I'm blind to.
Of course I'm interested.
Here, let me help out before you yell at me again.
Joe, you fucking lunatic. Somebody gets in my face, that might cause me to get more lunatic. I eat a little bit of protein. You had to beat the fuck out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little weed, put on your Little Rascals hat, and just fucking chill out. You don't understand. I love him to death.
Claus, I don't think Jesus.
You going to tell the kids this?
Well, Jesus was like the first Chris Angel. You know? Chris Angel is doing everything that Jesus did other than pulling the fish out. He's walking on water, too. You know? They both got the long hair and the good body. They don't wear shirts. You know? I just don't I'm really about religion and people.
Really?
Narcissists, sociopaths, all of this type of stuff. Like, you want to see a great case thing on, like, narcissism. Liberals are so stupid the way that they handle Trump.
What do you mean?
You should shut up. He's a narcissist. Neutral energy.
Yeah.
Neutral.
You think he'd go away?
You know what I think he was? I think he was a one-hit wonder.
Uh-huh.
Right? He wrote The Twist. Uh-huh. And then that was it. He was on the casino circuit, and then you idiots or something. That's not it!
I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me, you know. It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know, for the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? And I take comfort in that. I do.
All this stuff they don't have, but you know, and it's like, you fucking outlive us. You outlive us. Well, you know what? You have a birthday coming up. I know exactly what I'm getting you. Big bag of Fritos. You're an asshole. Yeah, so they're always bitch moaning and complaining about what they don't have, right? You know, do they ever look around and see what they do have? A whole fucking platoon of shoes, huh, that their guy paid for.
I'll tell you what I have.
Look around and see what they do have. A whole fucking platoon of shoes, huh, that their guy paid for.
I'll tell you what I have.
Right?
For a husband.
Oh, snap. 12-6 right there, baby. Hey, Nia, do you know why I make more an hour than you? Because I'm better than you.
You with your girlfriend living in LA?
Yes, I am. I'm technically married, but I'm married how like I want to be married.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't sign that behind the music contract.
You with your girlfriend living in LA?
Yes, I am. I'm technically married, but I'm married how like I want to be married.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't sign that behind the music contract where, you know, everything works out until it doesn't work out. Yeah. No, you see, Sugar Shea Mosley, one of the greatest boxers of all time, he's losing his championship belt in a divorce. Losing, yeah. It's like you're trying to break a man. Why does she want those? Right? They go with their Arnold Schwarzenegger's maid is still called the maid in the story. She knew his wife on a first-name basis, hooked up with this dude in their bed, and is still called the maid. Why did she bang him? Why?
Yeah.
Because of that 1987 flat top he's still rocking? Right? You don't think it's because of that kindergarten cop money he's got laying around the room? I'm not, and listen, these great men, all these guys, anytime one of these guys gets caught for screwing around, these guys come waddling out of their cubicles with their jowls, their absolutely reprehensible behavior. Like, they have any idea what it's like to be tempted at that level. You know?
Yeah.
As you walk over to your Ford Focus, are you really beating these women off of you? All those people who judge Tiger Woods? How many people here golf? When was the last time you walked off the 18th hole?
I gotta read that fucking book. Chapter 1, how to know if a dick tastes presidential. How to weed your way through all that local representative cock and get to the big swinging dick in the room. I'll tell you right now, say what you want about Republican presidents, but they got their first ladies in line. They do. Someday, there's going to be the first female president, which means there's going to be the first male first lady, right? And you wait, you fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists. They're all going, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch. You are the first lady.
I am a changed person, believe it. I am. I had an experience earlier this year. This is all true. Now, you don't think so? Some guy just yelled bullshit. Are you saying bullshit, sir, because you don't believe me or because you don't want me to leave? Is that what it is? The little angry circle that you're in? Don't be going and getting happy now. Don't be going and getting soft on me. Don't start hugging people and loving yourself. And crying when you see something cute still under the sink doing. No, I took mushrooms back in February. For the first time ever. No. This is the perfect state to tell this story. You guys should literally have mushrooms on your fucking license plate. All right, so here's the deal. I never fucked with anything like that. I was always a booze guy. I was a booze guy. And everybody. I always get nervous when I get white guys going like, yeah, all right, woo, all right, build the wall. All right, all right. I'm fucking around. Relax. It's frightening to listen to, but that's
what being a guy is. You're not allowed to have emotions. So that's all of that shit comes out when you drink. Do something dumb so I don't feel stupid. So, yeah, I was always like a blues guy, so like I never fucked with like psychedelics or whatever. So I think, you know, it was just one of those deals. I was out in the desert, man, and I was like, all right, I got somebody watching my kids. Everything's fine. I'm in my 50s. I got to do it now, or I'm never going to do it, right? So this person, who may or may not have been my opening act tonight, goes, all right, man. He's a good man. He's a good man. The other one, and then rub the other one and let it absorb in your face or whatever. So I'm like, all right. He goes, how far into it do you want to go? I go, I just want to trip a little bit, nothing fucking crazy. So he goes, fine. So I eat just a little bit. So I get a little nauseous or whatever. At first it feels like I ate some weed, but then all of a sudden, like I notice shit that's not alive, looks like it's breathing, right? Like the refrigerator, looked like it just did a lap around the house. It's kind of... Nothing threatening, you know? It's just like, you know, it needed it. I was just like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. This is why I didn't do it. I knew I had too many demons. I knew I wasn't going to see God and fucking unicorns and slide down the rainbow and roll around in the grass. I fucking knew Satan was coming up. There was going to be a guy with a knife and shit. I was just like, all right, go ahead. Drag me into the abyss. Let me see how fucked up I am. And this feeling, it just enveloped me. And I don't even know how to describe it. Just playing it off, right? Go into the fucking bedroom, and I'm just laying down in the bedroom like, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? And every time I thought I felt the bottom, it would just further into the bed, further into the bed, further into the bed. So about a half hour later, my wife comes in. She's like, hey, how you doing? Typical guy. Good. You love this person, you know, you still want to fucking run around like a Mustang a little bit, right? So anyways, I'm like, okay, I was like, dude, I was freaking me out even more to think of my wife and be feeling that. So I was like, fuck, I need to pull the ripcord. I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this fucking, it's like a giant beanbag. I couldn't get out of it, right? So I was like, oh, fuck. Think about your kids. Think about your kids. Now, my kids, I love my kids. And I know they love me. There is no fucking question. And I start thinking about my kids. And I still felt that feeling.
Huh? Zippitydoodah.com?
You got it.
Huh? You motherfucker.
That's
you
it.
have me on your show and you start trashing my DVD?
You're a sensitive man.
Bill, thanks so much for being here. I love this show. You're one of my favorite comedians. I'm excited to talk to you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. These chairs are horrific. This is designed for, like, I don't know what age. It's not like 6 to 8, like when you're 11. This is like the perfect size. It's not quite adult size. It's not kid size.
You know, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done, and right out of the gate. Was it because I made fun of the chairs? I'm sorry.
You're in the Emily Fan Cave hanging out with actor-comedian Bill Burr. I like that you said actor.
See, you did so bad, one of our guests is about to quit. I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, if there's a negative lining, Tony will find it. There it is, right between the ray of sunshine. There's that little nugget of negativity, you fucking cunt. Smarmy fucking cunt. Jesus Christ.
If we went to a movie together, would we sit next to each other? Would you want a seat between us?
You know, oh, Jesus.
Because that's a tough
I'd
deal.
want to sit like 9 rows behind you and just...
You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah,
It's funny when you said we win. I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African-American thing?
Yeah.
I don't want to alarm you, but I don't think that... Overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie. No! The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this? Where you guys from?
Live here.
You live here. How the hell did you end up here?
Work.
Long story. Shifty. Felonies?
Yes.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No, guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
This is the only way you can be comfortable in these fucking chairs. This is like in the middle of my back. Oh my God, I love you, but I hate this set. This is the lowest budget shit. You know what it is? It's the rent. It's the fucking rent. You did all this stuff. You should get rid of that camera and get some chairs.
What kind of chair would you prefer?
Comfortable, adult-sized chair.
You want me to be a suspect me for that?
No, I don't. Your big dumb desk hiding behind your microphone.
I respect you for keeping it real, Colin.
Yeah, I kept it 100.
What about when you call somebody out and then have them in front of you? That's punk. Can't do that.
But then you can actually just admit that you're wrong when the guy's delivering, because now he's delivering, he's still trashing.
Well, yeah, he's not admitting that he's wrong.
You jump in.
Yeah. Here he
Get
comes.
in the middle, two studs.
Here comes homeschool. Look, he's got on buckle shoes.
I know.
I bet he made those. He went to one of those little house in the prairie schools where, like, the person.
But I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing. I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out.
Yeah, he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
Well, I just hate the Jets, straight up. Being a Patriots fan, I hate their whole slogan, play like a jet.
Like a jet?
Play like a jet. Why would you say that? They haven't won in like 50 years. Why don't you play like a Patriot?
June, not one gay guy even fucking looked at me. Forget about even hit on me. I have never felt so old and undesirable in my life. Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. It's this one thing as a man, when you get so old that women don't look at you anymore, like, you know you're gonna hit that age. You know that day's coming, but nobody tells you at some point you're gonna get so old, not even a man wants to fuck you, right? Dude, that is a statement. When you get so old. So, anyway, she's fucking walking up the street. I'm coming down, right? And it's clear to me that if we keep walking the way we're walking, we're going to bump into each other. Now, I don't want to bump into a woman. I don't want to bump into anybody in New York. So I do the gentlemanly thing. I clock what's going on. So what I do is I just gradually shift over into my own lane. Now everything's fine, right? But then the weirdest thing happened. We walk like a... Huh? So I turn around to have this confrontation. And let me tell you something. She never looked back. And I'm not going to lie to you. That bugged me. That bugged me for like 3 days. 3 days, I'm just walking around New York, just fucking goddamn fucking bullshit. There's no fucking way you didn't do that on purpose. Who does that? Who drifts, you know? And I'm feeling this anger. It's just burning me up, and I know eventually it's gonna settle in my chest. And then one more time, it's gonna be, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do this to my daughter. I can't do this to my kids. So I started reading up on anger. Like how to let go of shit, I think is what I Googled. And I found empathy. If you have empathy for somebody, you put yourself in their shoes, you can just, figure out where they're coming from, where you're coming from, you can meet in the middle. So I said, all right, here we go. Let me put myself in her shoes. What would cause somebody to just have a stroke? Did she have Bell's palsy of her left side? Was she a mummy? Did she have a wooden leg? Is she one of those, those fucking diagonal walkers? You get behind them at the airport, they're walking too slow, you try to go around to the right, they start dragging their suitcase over there. You go over to the left, they're coming back this way, it's like they just got off a ship. And everything was just like, no, cut! Right? I was still mad. Still fucking mad. So I said, I don't give a shit. All right, so judging by most of your silence, I will do this math for you. Come on. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. All right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck that's like.
Came home, he came in the front door, you went out the back door. You just remember going into the woods and you just stay in there till his car left again.
You're thinking about going back to church.
Yeah. I don't believe I don't believe in any of it, really. And my church, I feel like I'm going there, I'm helping to pay for a legal team. So I don't want to go, no, they only raped kids. Come on, here we go. You're not against that, are you? Jesus Christ. Dude, if you took 90%.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
They're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment. So the genius. I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes. Make sure, she doesn't marry a jerk. And then, then I can just kick off, and that'll be it. Happy holidays, everybody. There you go. I think he just kind of, told people what to invent. Like, he just kind of came in like, I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen. Yeah. And then they have the big nerd concert, and he goes out there by himself. No belt. Doesn't owe you an apology. You just don't go to the restaurant anymore. Right. Rich kids just sit around, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So
Why respond to somebody who's being negative to you on Twitter?
Because it's fun. Women are so overrated, right? We went from we went from not listening to them, right? We went from we went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that Believe Women. It's like all of them.
I mean, I don't know.
Again, the good old days.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know what? They don't even call it Alphabet City anymore. You know that? They call it like the Lower East Side. Things, gentrification, whatever.
Was that offensive to illiterate people?
What about the angle? There was a...
Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
Because it goes the opposite direction now, of course. You get a tax break for the more kids you get. So you're saying it should go the other direction.
Yeah, no more kids. I'm anti-kids. They need to be stopped. One year, what people should do, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, should just float in over them right before it and just start dropping everything that they want. But even then, they would start stampeding. No matter how.
I agree with you because I gave up this upper line and it's driving her nuts.
You never saw.
What do you think about population, world population?
It's completely out of control.
Well, what about be fruitful and multiply?
I think we did that. I think we achieved that goal, and it's time to move on to something else. I mean, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. I think we need to kind of curb the babies for a minute. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. They do it all the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. And the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. Pages on the screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, big, little. Get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop.
Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. Leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones. We did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama's going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win because they're in the party, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them. Nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking? Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left the steak and shake? And he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work, it comes out of a cow, and I'm like, Dad, I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador, it's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm like, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. Waddling around me, and all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real life. Dude, you don't got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. Still trip. Chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, that blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do? Call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring it back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, honestly, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife. It's like what? You hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports and then I banged Tom Brady and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. Shit. Oh, they just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right?
But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. No more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Oh, okay, you just nodded there, lady. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, oh, I'm actually thinking it's kind of... Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. First lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there. Well, let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money, and occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to? Oh, you just want to flip the whole fucking table over? Horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like, one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me, too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault? No, that's my point, man. Where are all the feminists in those situations?
Happy about it. I said, yeah, I turned 50 last year. She goes, how was turning 50 for you? You know, she goes, you're a guy. You probably don't care. It's much harder for a woman, especially with our careers. Oh, did I have fun with that? You know? I just wrote back, where? Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I mean? White women complaining is one of the funniest. It's like you got a fucking house and a beautiful family. What is the fucking... It's so much harder for...
I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and, like, slap fights till, like, 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start, like, piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, when you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. No, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them. Nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watch the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right?
Oh, like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like... This is how much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work, it comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you... Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995 half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know, when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of...
I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're going to come and you're going to get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job to give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. This is... Yeah. You didn't. None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Talk about them. They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a fucking tragedy. Right? And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians. They're making billions. You look at those Real Housewives shows, they're making money hand over fist, because that's what women are watching. And the money listens. You don't want to watch this shit? You watch this shit? They just shoot it over there, right? That's the message you sent. We would rather watch that than see a bunch of women come together as a team and try to achieve a common goal. We would rather watch them actually fucking destroy each other. Yeah. No. And then in the end, you come back and you fucking yell at guys. And it's like, all right, so let me get this straight. I have to buy you a drink, stop the axe murderer from coming through the fucking window, and I have to watch WNBA.
People did this shit? I remember this one poor woman said she was a PA, went into some director's trailer, and he allegedly came running out, masturbating vigorously while holding a shrimp cocktail. I swear to God. I know that's fucked up, but I gotta tell you something. It's a little bit funny that she felt the need to use the adjective vigorously after she said he was 10 minutes late, the chicken was cold, I think I was raped, career over. What about my side of the story? Fuck your side of the story. You have a dick and balls. We don't want to hear it. Yeah. It's really weird how the whole thing, it went from like nobody listening, men not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these hashtags like, you know, believe women. Believe women. Just straight across the fucking board. All of them. Every last fucking one of them. What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? Huh? How about you believe like 88% and that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? No, that's the world we're fucking living in right now. National anthem. This is a protest about police brutality, the way people of color are treated. We'd like to open a dialogue. He got about halfway through and people are like, my brother's fighting in Iraq, you fucking piece of shit! It's just like, buddy, nobody is saying your brother isn't in Iraq fighting. You're not listening. This is about police brutality. My brother's a firefighter. He watched 9/11 on television. No, buddy. Nobody's saying that your brother's not a firefighter. I had a bone spur in my heel. I can still stand up during the fucking song. Buddy, nobody is saying you can't, all right? You're not listening. That's what it became. It went from not listening to women to just believe women, right? And then, you know, and then people just like, did you see that story? Did you read the story? You can't make something like that up. I always want to be like, well, did you see Star Wars? I mean, somebody made that up. They made like fucking 15 of them, you know? People can make shit up, right? You're part of the fucking problem. Get the fuck out.